Hi, this is Larry from That's What's Cooking. And today, well, I guess I kind of been feeling kind of creative lately. And I've been looking at some different recipes online, things that that would like to do out here. I'm always looking for something new, something to try out that I think my family would like. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things out there, but I'm kind of selective just because they can get kind of picky. But I think they're gonna like these couple selections that I have picked out. One of them, we're just gonna have some chicken, and I'm going to cook this time with some red onions. I generally don't cook with red onions, but I'm gonna cook with red onions. We've got some chopped up peppers, and I looked online and I found a balsamic glaze. So it's basically gonna be a balsamic glazed chicken that we're gonna do. And the other thing is, I've done potatoes before with onions and some seasonings, but my daughter came home with this bag a few weeks ago, this bag of the little baby potatoes, and it's just been kind of sitting there, and I'm looking, maybe nobody was going to do anything with it, so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use that today for my cooking demo that I'm going to do here. So we've got some baby potatoes, or the little round ones. I'm going to cook them with some green onions, and one other thing that I want to do, the recipe that I saw had bacon in it. I'm like, yeah, I've done bacon before, but I bought some ham steaks, which I've used before for other things, and I chopped them up, and I'm going to go ahead and get a nice sizzle on them, and then we're going to combine them with some seasonings and stuff. So I really think it's going to be good. We've got some asparagus that my daughter's going to put on in the oven, and we'll probably have a nice salad, some white rice, a couple other things. So that's what's cooking. We've got some chicken. I always use the thighs. We just kind of cubed it up, and my flat top is hot. I did put a little bit of oil down on it. We're just gonna cook it up, brown it up. Of course, I'm gonna put the onions and the peppers in with it, and once it's all cooked, we'll get that balsamic glaze on it. So right now, let's just go ahead and put some chicken down. Now this right here, this is almost 10 pounds of chicken. I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit. Like I do, I'm gonna let it set just for a little bit. I'm gonna spread it out. I'll probably put some spices on it like we normally do. And then I'll go ahead and throw the onions and the peppers in on it in just a little bit. So we're just gonna set this out. And we'll go with salt and pepper. Here's the salt. Excuse me, here's the pepper. And we're gonna go with some salt. One thing I kind of like about today is that it's not as windy as it normally is. I think the weather's changing. That's kind of a good thing. I mean, it's been hot here. Feels good. I'm not opposed to the heat, but yeah, I think it's time for us to start getting into a little bit nicer weather. So I'm going to let this sit here for a couple of minutes, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Well, we've been letting it sit here maybe about 5 minutes, just trying to get a nice sizzle on one side. I'm gonna go ahead and add the red onions now. Like I said, I normally don't cook with red onions, but you know what? We're gonna give it a shot. I've seen a lot of videos where people use them and they love it. So we're using today. We're gonna cut up. Well, we already cut up. We're gonna spread out with our red onions. Now, I'm always worried about too much onion and stuff, but you know what? It shrinks down, and I'm just hoping that the flavor comes out real nice. I'm pretty sure it should. So what we'll go ahead and do is put those on there, and now we're just gonna give everything a nice mix. Everything a nice mix. I'm excited about it. I always get excited when I'm trying some new things. I mean, how many choices of meat that you got, you know. I mean, we're mostly with chicken and beef. I do use some pork from time to time, but I'm always trying, like I said, looking for new things. So to me, this is kind of a new thing with red onions. Smells good. I like it. It smells good right now. I think everything's gonna be all right. So I'm just tossing it up. I may put on a few more spices, but then we're just gonna let it sit on this side and let it get another good cook on it. Okay, we've had them on this side probably about 5 minutes also, and I did put some spices on it, a little more salt, a little more pepper, but everything's come along really good. Those red onions are giving it a beautiful aroma. So we're just gonna toss. Get a nice mix going on here, and just for informational purposes, the onions that I put on, those were 2 red onions that I had cooked up. Not super big ones, but 2 medium-sized onions, and they yield a lot. They definitely yield a lot of onion. So that was 2 onions that I had cut up, and it filled up this. I'm not sure what the volume is on this, but those 2 red onions filled it up. And like I said before, the meat here is just about 10 pounds, so I think it's just about right. I like what I can see as far as like ratio to onions to the chicken that I have in there. So 2 onions, that was 10 pounds of meat. This is cooking up really good. I'm just moving it around. Well, so what I'm gonna do now, so everything will cook nicely and evenly, and I've just done it from experience and stuff, is that some things you don't put them all together because they cook faster and quicker, and the meat is probably about 2/3 of the way cooked. Your onions are cooking real nice, so we'll go ahead and put in the peppers there. This is just 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 orange pepper, and I love cooking with these. I never was really a big bell pepper fan, and then one time I ate the colored ones, and I'm like, boy, those are great. So generally, that's what I always use, just because I like the taste of them better than the green ones. But I mean, nothing wrong. I mean, I don't have anything personally against the green ones, except that I just don't like the flavor. But these colored ones I'll eat all day long. So and they look nicer too. I mean, if you're looking for presentation on different things, to me the colored peppers give a nice presentation. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna toss them around a little bit, get a nice mix on them, let it set for a little bit. Like I said, the chicken is probably about 2/3 cooked. So we're just gonna toss it, let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back with the glaze, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I put some more spices on there, just a little more salt. I always test, just to make sure that you get that nice taste on there. So salt is the default, and we put some on. It tastes good. So and like I said, I like using, I'm gonna say it again, I like using the colored peppers just because it looks pretty and it looks nice, and it's a good presentation. Okay, here's the thing, new thing I'm gonna try. I don't know how it's gonna go, but it's by a company called Roland, and what it is, it's a balsamic vinegar glaze. I've never seen it in the store. I ordered it online, and it's got some real high reviews. So we're gonna go ahead and try it out here. This happens to be an almost 8.5 ounce container. So I'm just gonna pour it on here. I think it comes out. Good. We'll try it. Let me see if I don't get it like this. I'm gonna open it up. So okay, there you go. Let's get a nice squirt going on here. I may not use all of it, but let's get enough on there. Let me toss it around and see where it's at. We may end up using the entirety. I think I put on about half of the bottle right there. So let me mix it in. We'll see how it looks. And it smells good. It smells really good. Balsamic. Probably have to end up using the whole container, but that's okay. I've got a lot of chicken out here, and what we'll probably do is we'll mix it in really good, and we'll let it set. And I mean, it's already thick, but we'll let it thicken up a little bit more. So I'm going to toss it around. I'll probably add in the rest of the bottle, and then we'll show it to you before we take it off the griddle. Well, you know, I had only used about half of that bottle, and it ended up spreading out really nice. It thickened up, and we did some taste tests. My cameraman, of course, my dad, one of my daughters, myself, and we said that the half a bottle will do just perfect. So this is the finished product on the chicken, the balsamic chicken. It tastes delicious. I'm just going to go ahead and package it up, and we'll go on to the next item. I got the baby potatoes that I were hanging around here for a little bit, and we just quartered them. They probably were about this size. We quartered them. I went ahead and I boiled them for about 10 to 15 minutes. I like doing that because the time out here, it goes a little bit quicker as far as cooking. So some people are against that. I'm not. I mean, the only time that I wouldn't boil the potato is if I slice it really thin, which I've done before. Then it comes straight out here because I know the cook time will be less. So I don't see anything wrong with helping yourself out, especially when you're out here cooking. You got people waiting, that kind of thing. Do what you can inside. I usually boil it when we're prepping everything else, like the chicken and the peppers and the onions and all that stuff. So it's when I come out here, it's ready. So anyway, we've got the gold and the red baby potatoes. I cleaned my grill, and I put it down a nice fresh coat of oil. Just gonna spread them out a little bit. On these, you just wanna get a nice little sizzle. And what I'm gonna do, I have this spice that it's new to me. I like it. You know what? I'm probably gonna turn up the flame just a little bit. I've had it on low. Move it up to like a medium, because this thing when it gets hot, it really gets hot. So we're gonna go ahead and put it on the medium, spread it around a little bit. I've got something, I usually use this when I'm smoking, put it on my meats. It's called AP seasoning, AP standing for all purpose, and it's got a great flavor. So we're just gonna go ahead on the potatoes, move it around a little bit, let them sit. Now with these, I'll probably toss them and probably put them underneath the domes just for a little bit. Like I said, they're boiled them already for about 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not going to take a whole lot to get going on here. And as I'm monitoring it, I may even turn up the flame a little bit more just so we can start getting that sizzle sound. And but we're going to watch them, and we'll be back. Well, I went ahead and put the potatoes underneath the dome. I got my big dome. It works out really well. What we're going to do is add a little bit of water to it. Try to get that steam effect. Like I said, it's not going to take a whole lot, but we'll go ahead and let it steam. But what I'll tell you what we're going to do on this side over here, we're going to go ahead start with the ham. These are ham steaks. I think they're sliced portions of the shank ham that you can find in the stores, anywhere. They come individually packaged. I like them because they're easy. They're already fully cooked. All you basically have to do is you can either cook them whole, which I've done before, or this time I wanted to chop them up because I'm going to go ahead and get a nice sizzle on them, and then I'm going to mix them with the potatoes and stuff with just some spices. But with the ham, we're gonna go ahead with some green onions. And those hams right there, that's 2 hams. So I think the weight-wise came around to like about 2.5 pounds for the ham right there. And this is just one bunch of green onions. So I think there was like maybe six of the stalks of the green onions. So we're just gonna put it on top. Like I said, trying new things. I'm excited about it, and we'll go with a little more since we already have the AP on the potatoes. We'll go with the AP on the ham and the onions, and we're just going to give it a toss and try to get as much sizzle on it as we possibly can. Once we get that, we'll go ahead and mix them together. For right now, like I said, just spread it out. The heat's on, well, it's on high. It is on high. I was going to say, boy, it's pretty warm right now, which is fine. That's what we want. We want to get a nice little sizzle going on them, and then we'll go ahead and add them to the potatoes. So with the potatoes, I'll probably toss them around. I may just end up switching the dome over to this side while I'm working with the potatoes on that side. But it's going to be quick, because like I said, it's fully cooked. We just want to get a nice sizzle on everything so we can go ahead and mix it. So right now, this is a ham with the green onions and some spices. Well, we went ahead and took the dome off of the potatoes. I tossed them up a little bit. I tried them for spices, and it's good. I may add a little bit more once I add the ham to it, but I took the cover off because anymore and they might start falling apart, which I don't want. Like I said, they're perfect right now. So I have the cover off of them. I spread them out, and there's nothing wrong getting a little sizzle on them, but keeping them covered up, it would have just been too much. It would have been overcooked. So let's go ahead and see how our ham is doing over here. Actually looks pretty good. Yeah, see that sizzle that we're getting on there? That looks really good, and that's what I want. We'll get those green onions cooked down a little bit. I'll probably add some allspice to there, and then all we're gonna do is just mix them up, and that'll be one of our side dishes that we have. So it's easy. You get your potatoes, you got your ham, which basically just putting a sizzle on it. We added in some green onions and some spice to it, which, like I said, we'll add them together, and we'll show you once we're mixing them up how it looks with both of them mixed up together. And then I think we'll be done here. Well, this is the finished product on the potatoes. Like I said, I used ham this time instead of bacon. We used the green onions and the allspice. It looks delicious. We've tried some. It tastes delicious. Now with something like this, you could do anything you want from here. You could add on a glaze if you wanted to. I'm just gonna leave them like this. When we take it inside, if somebody wants to put something on them themselves, you know, whether it be ranch dressing or sour cream or something like that, they can do that themselves. But it tastes good. It's got the right amount of seasonings. The potatoes are perfect. We got a nice little sizzle on the ham. Yeah, this is gonna be really good. I'm really excited about it. So we went ahead with the balsamic chicken. We had the peppers. We had the red onions, was a new thing that I tried with that. And that glaze, it was great. We had our potatoes with the ham, the cooked ham, and the green onions on there, and the AP spice on there. So I think it's great. Inside, like I said, we've got some asparagus cooking, some white rice, and a couple other things. So we're gonna do up a plate. We'll show you a finished product. Well, this is everything that we cooked up today. We went ahead with the balsamic chicken that we cooked up with some red onions. We had some colored bell peppers, and we did the balsamic glaze on there. We have the baby potatoes with green onions, and we chopped up the ham and with the allspice, and everything came out great. We have some asparagus that we did in the oven. We have some white rice, and I think we have some salad and some rolls. So we're just gonna go ahead and put together a plate, and we'll show you a finished product. Well, here we have the finished product, and it looks pretty good. We went ahead with our balsamic chicken. We put it on a bed of white rice. We have some asparagus. Here are our potatoes with the ham and the spices, a roll, and a dinner salad. So that's what we're having tonight for dinner. And of course, this one is for my dad. So he already tried a few things, so I know he's gonna like it. So this is what we have. And I know everybody's going to enjoy it. We'll see you next time. Thank you.